So when I look at a graduate application, I'm excited about the story that a person's going to tell me, whether they use a personal anecdote or something from their research that they're excited to share. And the reason I'm interested in storytelling is not just to find an interest in you, but also because that's what we study, is aesthetics and creativity and narrative. And so I'm interested to see how you use aesthetics to connect with larger social issues. And that's the other thing I'm interested in, is someone who can connect what they want to study to the kind of social and political commentary that they want to make by doing their research. And lastly, I want to know why you want to work with the faculty here, the specific faculty you're excited to work with, and perhaps what you've read of their work that really excites you, that charms you, that makes you think that they'd be a great mentor for you.
When I think of an ideal graduate student, I think of several characteristics. The first would be intellectual curiosity, a real desire to learn and a passion for learning. The second thing would be a willingness to be flexible, to consider ideas and opinions that may be very different from your own, but to understand that there are many different ways to approach a subject, and it can be really wonderful to hear views that are different. I would add to that a willingness to work individually, to be self-motivated, to work independently, but also to engage collegially and collaboratively with others, because that can be so gratifying. I would add a sense of humor and warmth and kindness, which in these fraught political times are very, very important. And finally, I would say tenacity. Graduate programs are rigorous, and there is a lot that you will have to do, but we are confident that you have the ability, and it will be very rewarding ultimately.
A strong PhD application will demonstrate a commitment to a question or a commitment to a problem or a topic at hand. And part of that commitment is a topic or a something that you've critically thought about that needs to be answered over a long period of time. So there needs to be a kind of durability of that research question or a durability of that topic, and really compelling and showing us through a narrative of why you are absolutely the person who should be answering this question, and why we are absolutely the people who should be supporting you in trying to answer that question. And part of that too is why does this question matter? Why now? Why is this relevant for study at this moment? I think a big part of the PhD is really this amazing opportunity to live a life of the mind, to read and to write and to really do a deep dive into something that you've had questions about maybe for your whole career as a student or as an artist or as a thinker or as an activist. And this is an opportunity for deep study, right? And I'm really thinking of Fred Moten here, who talks about study as a kind of intensive practice where you're learning how to not only to train your mind, but to untrain how you've been taught in some ways to answer these new compelling questions. So showing us in the application why you are the one who has to answer this question, and why this program would be a good fit to do that.
I look less at the topic that somebody wants to study, although fit is an important consideration. So if you're applying with a specific topic that no one on the faculty does, then you might want to think carefully about the fit that you're looking for. But one of the things that I think about are the kinds of questions that people are interested in, because subject areas and things that people want to study for their dissertation or for their first part of their career transform during graduate study, or hopefully they should. They should deepen, they should grow, and they may change entirely. But usually the kinds of questions that people are interested in stay close to home. So you might come in with a question about how identity is manifested on stage, or how political activism happens in performance, or thinking about nationalism or religion or expressions of uprising or revolution. And those are questions that you could take into almost any graduate class and into almost any topic that you would study, and again, hopefully have the opportunity to deepen, to expand throughout your coursework and throughout your studies here. So when I'm looking at an application, one of the things I think about is how clearly has someone started to define the kinds of questions that they would want to pursue in a graduate degree? And then how are they thinking about how they might apply those questions beyond the graduate degree? Because getting a PhD isn't the end of your career, it's just the start of your career.
So one of the questions that I get most often is, what makes a good application? And I would say that the question that I'm most interested in as I read through your materials is, what drives your work and what are the stakes? It's not crucial to have a specific topic in mind, but it is important to know what ideas drive your curiosity and why. Here at Tufts, we have people who engage in archival history, performance ethnography, theoretical readings of plays and performances, but all of them are informed by a particular social activism that's driven by the scholar's particular engagement. So if you can talk about those things in relationship to your work, that's one of the most important things that you can do as an applicant. Additionally, I'd love to hear you speak about why Boston and its archival and theatrical resources, or why the Tufts faculty specifically is of interest to you and the work that you're doing. So if you can speak to all of these things in putting your application materials together, you'll be in pretty good shape. Thanks, good luck, and I look forward to reading your application.